You just got to accept the pain that comes with standing up to China. How do you get China to change without creating some pain on them and us? I don't know.
So that was Senator Lindsey Graham telling American farmers hurt by Donald Trump's trade war with China to just, hey, suck it up, accept the pain. So, yeah, that happened. Now, so basically, let's accept the fact that through Donald Trump's blundering, the entire market for soybeans is gone. Basically. Now, look, that's not something that you just get back. These farmers actually spent decades building up these relationships. And now, because of the trade war, you have farmer income that's down, while you also have debt and bankruptcy that has gone up. Now, you also have farm equipment manufacturing plants that are closing down or having less business or laying people off because there's less people buying new stuff. Farmers aren't buying new tractors. They're not upgrading their old farm equipment. And because of all that, you also have a massive hit in trucking. Now, I've talked about how the truckers were really mad because, and look, truckers vote overwhelmingly conservative. A lot of truckers voted for Donald Trump. And now, again, because of the trade war, because of the economy, because of what one trucker described as the bloodbath, the trucking bloodbath, here you have truckers that are also losing their jobs and not buying new equipment. So it's a spiral. So you've got a massive hit in trucking and the economy as well. In fact, when trucking slows down to its level, and trucking's been in a recession since 2018, now you also have that basically being a red flag, right, towards a recession, that points towards a recession. And so you have that. Then you have the yield curve inversion. That's also happened. That's a big red flag that says we're about to enter a recession, and it's not going to be good because no recession is actually good. So now, Lindsey Graham, well, he's not buying any of this stuff, right? He just says, "Oh no, the trade war is fantastic. We're actually doing really good. And by the way, it's actually the Democrats' fault." Take a look.
Every Democrat and every Republican of note has said China cheats. The Democrats for years have been claiming that China should be stood up to. Now Trump is, and we just got to accept the pain that comes with standing up to China. How do you get China to change without creating some pain on them and us? I don't know.
How much pain should the people of South Carolina be prepared for?
Some. Consumer prices on commodities are going to go up. We're now at that part in the trade war where you feel price increases at Walmart. The president has backed off because he's worried about the Christmas shopping season. I'd tell you, Mr. President, listen, you got more bullets than they do. They sell us a lot more stuff than we sell them. And the goal is to get them to change their behavior. The Chinese government, the Chinese army, and the Chinese business community are one and the same. They're very mercantile. You don't have these disputes among democracies, but the Chinese Communist Party runs everything in China. Until they feel the pain, they're not going to stop.
Well, the bad thing is that they're not actually going to feel the pain from this trade war, as the tariffs are paid not by the Chinese, but by American businesses that import things from China. So, and they have the ability, of course, to manipulate their currency, and they've done so. So, there's that. But I love that part at the beginning. Well, it's the Democrats. They said to stand up to China, and then when Trump does it, okay, so let's just blame Democrats for Trump doing the thing that we falsely accuse Democrats of wanting to do, but also what we wanted to do because we have no idea what we're doing. Now, that makes a lot of sense, right? Basically, the gist of what he was saying. Look, Democrats have not been calling for trade wars. The only Democrat, by the way, that I've seen actually promoting tariffs, as most corporate Democrats are more of like, oh, no, let's have more free trade, guys. Look, President Obama, for example, wanted the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So that would have included a lot of the market in Asia as well. So, and not only that, but we've had permanent trade relations with China for quite some time under CAFTA. So, that's the situation right there, right? And that's been under Democrats as well as Republicans. Again, both of them are more your free trade, right? So now the one Democrat that I've heard against some of that, especially permanent trade, normal trade relations with China, is Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders, he says, look, I do believe in tariffs, but you can't just go putting tariffs on willy-nilly. No, you actually have to have a plan, and you actually have to implement them in a smart way. So do I believe that? I believe tariffs can be effective, but again, when you're smart, right? That involves having to know what you're doing, and also having a specific end goal in place, and basically using the tariffs as a way to start a trade process, right? Now, Donald Trump hasn't really been willing to do so, and neither is the Chinese, to be fair on that. It's just been a completely ham-handed endeavor at trying to get China to change their ways. I don't even know what Donald Trump's end goal is at this point. I just don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do. So it just doesn't make any sense at what he's doing. And besides, China is not an easy country to push around economically. It is one gigantic central economy. And it's not as if, the United States has a monopoly on growing soybeans or any of the other products that we do end up selling to China. But Lindsey Graham's right about one thing. We do buy a lot of things from China. So, but unfortunately, Donald Trump has so far failed to use any sort of leverage he has from that. So, and look, as far as the farmers in the Midwest, again, Russia and other countries have actually already stepped into the role of selling soybeans to China. So those markets are gone. Congratulations. But as far as feeling the pain, right? And that's what Lindsey Graham's overall message is. You just got to stick with it. You're going to feel a little bit of pain from this. Trust me. But it'll be fine. Well, why don't you feel some of the pain, Lindsey Graham? Why is it that these representatives never end up feeling any of the negative effects from their own policies? Why is it? Well, it's because they're either exempt or they're incredibly wealthy. And by the way, there are congressmen that own farms, right? For example, Republican Senator Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley is hurt personally by this trade war. He owns a farm that grows both corn and soybeans. So his crop negatively affected. So how does he feel about the trade war? Well, Chuck Grassley not only thinks that it's perfectly fine, that we shouldn't let up on it, but he also, for the second time, also took Donald Trump's farm bailout money. Oh, so that's why. Again, not all farms qualify for this bailout money, but Chuck Grassley sure did. Oh, no, it's my small little family farm. Chuck Grassley is a multimillionaire. Not only does he get paid extravagantly for being in Congress, being a politician, doing speeches, all that stuff, and taking, of course, donations from giant corporations, but he also takes bailout money and basically government subsidies. You want to talk about welfare queen? Well, Chuck Grassley would fit the bill. He's going to be fine. None of these wealthy senators, including Lindsey Graham, are ever going to feel how the Midwest actually feels thanks to Donald Trump and his stupid trade war. So keep that in mind when you hear these hack politicians come out and talk about how, oh no, you're just going to have to accept the pain from this. Well, sorry, Lindsey, but if you're not there with us feeling that same pain, then you've got no right to speak. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.